Hey everybody, Brian Horvath here. I'm so excited to have you at today's live LinkedIn Q&A training, and just really pumped up. Probably because I had way too many of these things. What's that even point? I never get that right. Any of you shoot on Facebook or done portrait videos, or the other day I shot a video of my golf, my son and I playing golf, and I showed him as a left-hander. And one day I'll get this whole thing. I think that I still can't get it right. Anyway, I've had a lot of coffee. It's right over here. I'm at home. I'm supposed to be at the office. I'm at home because, well, it's been a crazy, hectic week. For some of you and across the country that are watching this that have kids going out to school this week, you know what I'm talking about. Here in Florida, it's week 3, and it's still a little bit challenging, especially because Mama is out in Las Vegas at a show with her great friend Kelly. They're doing some cool things together, and I'm privileged and honored to be trusted to be here with the kids all by myself. My little girl, who's almost 4, my little guy, he's 6.5, and first grade, and VPK. And it's been a little hectic. So I should be at the office, but I'm here at the house. I tried to set up the best I could, and just wanted to share with you how excited I am about what's behind me. See, still can't do it. Still can't do it. What's behind me is pumpkin spice latte time. Although today I did not splurge on pumpkin spice latte at Starbucks. I just went ahead and used the Keurig machine and had Dunkin's pumpkin coffee or whatever. And so it was really good, but definitely not as good as having whipped cream and pumpkin syrup from Starbucks. But anyway, that's just me. I'm a little addicted to fall, a little addicted to pumpkin spice lattes. But that's not what we're here to talk about today. Today, we're here to talk about LinkedIn, how to use it to maximize your effectiveness, to be found by the right people, to find the right people and opportunities, for people and opportunities to find you, ultimately so you can know, live, and love the purpose for your career and finances, and seeking to serve people where you can add value, where you can help change the marketplace, change the world, wherever the case may be. However you decide to use LinkedIn or are using LinkedIn, or maybe you don't even use LinkedIn yet at all, and you're checking out this video going, how do I get started? Well, you, my friends, are in the right place, because whether you're watching this live right now or on a video later at a later date, this is practical stuff. This is stuff that will help you be effective, not just with LinkedIn, but in your career as a whole. And when you do well in your career and you serve people well, money, your finances, will find you and resource you to do all those cool things, whether it's send your kids to school, or to have your home, or to eat right, or whatever the case may be. Career and finances go together. They are not life's purpose, thank God, hallelujah, amen, but they are tools. Career and finances are tools to help you know, live, and love the purpose for your life purpose. So, but today, a little sub niche to the career is to talk about LinkedIn. And I love helping people with LinkedIn. I'm a speaker, consultant, and coach. I've coached hundreds of people on LinkedIn and over the years. And matter of fact, I just had a client this week tell me, Brian, thank you so much. You have like unleashed the hounds, man. The things that you've been sharing with me and the things I've been using from you to make my LinkedIn profile better and to more attractive to target companies, hiring managers, so on and so forth. It's working. Recruiters are inbound calling me every day. They're emailing me. They want to connect about what I do best, and really cool stuff. And so I want to help you do that too. What we'll talk about today will help you do just that. So let's get into it, right? So LinkedIn live Q&A every Wednesday. We do this at noon, every Wednesday at noon. And I want to just keep you in tune with that, because as you are using LinkedIn throughout the week, whether you're a starter, intermediate, starter, just getting started, a beginner, or intermediate, or you believe a master and you want to just even get better at your mastery, you can send me your questions about LinkedIn. I'd love to address them here on the show every Wednesday at noon live. And of course, can be watched on my Facebook page, or at my YouTube page at brianhorvath.com is on Facebook. And you can find it all there. Anyway, I'll put all that stuff in the show notes. You can read that later. But I would love to invite you to be a part of these shows. And by being a part of that, one of the best ways is to send in your questions. So every Wednesday at noon, we do these. You can send your questions to brian@brianhorvath.com, and I'll talk about that even later in the show, whether it's about prospecting on LinkedIn, whether it's connecting with target companies or opportunities, whether it's making tweaks to the content or copy within your profile, whether it's even how to choose the best profile photo or header, banner image. It doesn't matter. I want to help you do that. Maybe it's how to ask for a recommendation, how to seek out skills and endorsement recommendation or endorsements, whatever the case may be. Send in your question. We'll get to it. Either I'll get right back to you on email or we'll feature it here live on the show every Wednesday. But today we're going to talk about LinkedIn and how to insert the right keywords into your profile, how to insert the right keywords into your LinkedIn profile. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, last week we talked about how to choose, how to select, how to create the right keywords for your profile. And so let's do a little bit of a review, a quick review from last week. Last week, we talked about the question you need to ask yourself when you're determining what keywords to use or how to source keywords, how to make the most out of keywords, is you want to kind of go through a couple different channels or a couple different buckets and start using those as sources for you to write your profile in such a way that's going to be attractive to the hiring managers, target employers, recruiters, CEOs, CFOs, CIOs, CTOs, whatever the COOs, all that C-suite stuff, whoever has the power to hire you. How do you write that content? How do you write that copy? Well, in LinkedIn, we talked about last week, was keywords are LinkedIn currency. The ebbs and the flows of keywords create basically an online or LinkedIn currency for you to be the most effective you can on the platform. And where do you find out what those keywords are, what they should be? You want to find them through a couple different ways. A quick review here. First of all, though, you want to ask the question of yourself, what do I do best? What do I, as a person, as an employee, as a colleague, as someone on a team, what do I do best? And you kind of brainstorm with that. And some sources for this brainstorm could be what you see right there in front of you. Job descriptions, both job descriptions you've had in the past, job description you have currently, or job descriptions way out in the future, meaning targeted job descriptions, places you potentially would like to work. Those are the things that you want to sort. Those are one of the great resources or sources of keywords. And what do I mean by that, Brian? What do you mean by that, Brian? Well, if you kind of need to jog your memory about what you're currently doing in your job, look no further than maybe your job description, right? Okay. So, I know these things are fluid, right? They change many times. One of the biggest complaints people have in their careers is that I'm doing work that's not even in my job position or in my job description. Okay, great. Get that, understand that. But you're probably doing a lot of things that are in your job description. And so use that as a place to start brainstorming. Just simply print that or find an old one and start marking it up, highlighting it. Another one is assessments. Okay. And let me back up one more time. I say one more thing about job descriptions. How about job descriptions for target opportunities that are out there today? If you're in sales or you're marketing or you're supply chain or you're an engineer or you're I don't know, you're searching for a role in a nonprofit. Whatever the case may be, find what those roles are being asked or are asking you to do or that you as a candidate are to do. And look for those as places to jog your memory or jog your brain as brainstorm what keywords you need to have in your profile, right? So that there's a match. So there's synchronicity. So there's just connection there, okay? And we can't get into all that today. We did a little more last week, so watch the video from last week's live. The other one is assessments. These are great third-party endorsements that tell you, based on how you've answered questions in the assessment, what you do best. Whether it's DISC, whether it's an Enneagram, whether it's a strengths finder, or an online skills matcher, or maybe it's spiritual gifts, okay? Maybe it's, all kinds of things. Myers-Briggs, whatever the case may be. Communique is another one. These are assessments that are third-party endorsements for you or third-party descriptors for you that come out a result of a methodology that when you answer questions they ask you, spits out an assessment, spits out a report. And so those are great places to serve you for keywords that represent what you do best. Another great way is to brainstorm hard skills and soft skills, whether they're technical skills or specific job skills, mechanical skills maybe, or maybe you're a copywriter, or maybe you're a coach, or maybe you're an executive. You have hard skills that definitely pay the bills, right? Skills that make it happen for the company, which in turn, when you make it happen for the company, you're rewarded with money, and that money comes into you. And so, right then, so you get to pay your bills with those skills that earned you money, right? Anyway, then there's soft skills. These are people skills. Are you a problem solver? Are you a conflict resolution manager? Do you help people see the best of themselves? Are you a coach? Are you an encourager? Right? Do you challenge people? Are you a, what are you? What do you do? How do you do it? Put those on your profile in LinkedIn. These are great sources of keywords for you and what you do best. The others are, you can see in front of you, what do others say about you? What do others say about that, what you do best? How do you find that out? Well, you ask. You ask people for recommendations. You ask people to review you. You ask people to tell you answers to the questions that sometimes can be hard to take, but most times they're really encouraging. And you allow people to call out the best in you. And that doesn't happen enough. So give people the opportunity to call out what you do best by simply asking them, hey, John, hey, Lisa, hey, Michael, hey, Joe, what do I do best? Okay, what do I do best? And if you don't ASK, you're not going to GET. So definitely find out what you do best by having others tell you. And one of the ways to do that is also asking people on LinkedIn for recommendations. And they write a recommendation for you. And you write recommendations for people. And it's not always quid pro quo or tit for tat or this or that, but just ask people to refer you or recommend you, excuse me. And they'll do it. They'll do it. The other one is employee reviews. Go back and look through all your files, right? And see how you were reviewed in the past. Bring those things out. What was said about you? What do the reviews say about you? Just whether it's a boss comment or a question that was answered, or maybe even you did some self-assessments or self-review. Those are great sources. So this is a big wind-up review. I say quick. It's not becoming that quick, but I'm telling you, it's worth the review. And if you're watching for the first time, to get more in-depth from start to finish, check out last week's live. And then there's keepsakes. I call it keepsakes because I have a little keepsakes box, whether digitally or physically, analog or digital. And I basically keep cards where people thank me for something or encourage me with something, or just a job well done, basically. I like to keep those things not only as a reminder to me if I have one of my down days or days where I'm being challenged and I really need to remember that, hey, there's stuff that's out there. There's things that I've done out there that have made a difference. And sometimes we have those days where we just need to be reminded. Yes, it's true, but they're also great places for keywords. They're great places to celebrate and to share and showcase how you add value to the marketplace. So that's a quick recap. Sources of what do you do best? What do I do best? Okay. You want to be able to use that often as a time when whether you're writing a resume or tweaking your LinkedIn profile or what have you. So good review, right? So what we're going to do next, though, is talk about today's topic, and that's how to insert the right keywords. Those right keywords you just came up with when asked, what do you do best? Or when you ask yourself, do a self-assessment, what do I do best? And once you gather all that stuff from all those different buckets and put it into the big bucket, now you want to organize those in such a way and place those keywords in such a way. Remember, keywords and LinkedIn are currency for you to be found, for you to connect, not only with people, but with the right opportunities, and for people and opportunities to find and connect with you. Just like I told you, that person the client I just had, that when we tweaked his profile, man, wow, he was able to get all this inbound activity into his profile. So very good stuff. Very good stuff. So, okay, let's take a look here. Thank you guys for the likes. I appreciate that, and very cool stuff. But so today's topic, how to insert the right keywords into your LinkedIn profile. All right, we want to talk about keyword placements. And years ago, I met a guy named Greg Wells, and Greg taught me a lot about LinkedIn. And I took what I learned from Greg and took what I learned from my role at Crossroads Career as executive director of our career transition nonprofit, and just my own life experiences, and put this all together to create what I call LinkedIn, how to make the right connections on LinkedIn, or what I call the ultimate LinkedIn profile. And in that ultimate LinkedIn profile, what I share with people is you got to have those keywords, those right keywords, the keywords that represent best what you do or what you do best, so that those you're seeking to serve, those who need most what you do best, can find you and you can find them. And see, that's how LinkedIn works again. So the question is, though, it's not just so much how do you do that, but where do you do that? Where do you put these keywords? How do you make them work for you, right? If you put your gas for your car into the trunk, that's not going to make your car go, right? If you put it into the driver's seat, it's not going to make your car go. You got to put it into the gas tank. right? And so this is the same thing with LinkedIn. You want to put the keywords into the place that's going to help make your LinkedIn profile go. I don't know if you remember, but on National Lampoon's Vacation, when Clark Griswold was trying to find his new car, the family truckster, the new car, he was trying to find the gas tank, and he was looking all around the car, and so much so that he thought it was in the back of his car. He looked at the person next to him and said, "Oh, well, they're putting they're putting their gas in their car behind their license plate." And he goes around to the back of the car and he's trying to find it. He can't find it. And he thinks maybe the license plate is stuck because it's just not releasing for him to put that gas into the gas tank that's supposed to be, he thought, in the back of his license plate. And then he ends up whipping the license plate right off, right? And kind of does one of those, what just happened? Hopefully no one saw that. Well, that's the same thing with LinkedIn. No one's going to see that if you don't have your keywords in the right places. If you're trying to put keywords into the wrong places, no one's going to see you. You're not going to get gas in the car and get it to go. I want to help you solve for that. I don't want you to be struggling anymore with LinkedIn. I want you to put the keywords that you came up with, the keywords that say, answer the questions, what do I do best? Excuse me. And I want you to be able to use those keywords in the right places so those who need most what you do best will discover just that. So what's the best place? The best places are in your headline. Of course, right? Of course, in your headline. Think about it this way. At a newspaper, at the top is the name of the newspaper, right? And a lot of times that newspaper has brand equity, which would cause you to maybe read down to the headline. What's on tap for the news today? What's the big headline? What may prompt you to buy that paper if you're not used to buying that paper? Is the headline going to draw you in? Is the headline written in such a way, is it attractive in such a way to make you want to take the next step and, well, read the paper, but even better, buy the paper, okay? So a headline's got to have your keywords in it. It's got to have what you do best right from the top, right up front, so people can see what you do best. The people that need you the most, you don't want to make it hard for them to see what you do best right up top. And what I see wrong a lot of times, unfortunately, is either a couple things. One is people have not in their LinkedIn profile things that they do best. They just simply have their current job title. That's easily changed once you come up with the right keywords. You can put in your keywords up top as opposed to in the headline being just your current job title. Because your current job title doesn't say exactly what you're doing. It doesn't say what you do best. It just says it's the job title, of course, of the company that you work for. But how do you target employers who need what you do best? You want to have your skills, your top skills, your best of the best up top. And then you have your about section, okay? Well, let me back up. One other thing in the headline I see wrong for a lot of people. There's too many words up there. It's like, whoa, you wouldn't buy a newspaper that all it had was 32 bold font words for the headline, right? No, those should get dropped down to the story or the first paragraph. So again, headline up first is going to help people look at your profile, and when they like what they see and they need most, what you do best, which is what your headline should indicate, then they're going to read more in your profile. Then you're going to buy the newspaper because you are intrigued to take the next step, right? So in the headline, you want to have a keyword phrase followed by a statement that says what you're an expert in. It allows you to drive down, dig deeper into those keywords. So for me, I'm a speaker, consultant, coach, customer success expert, and then I have with expertise and helping people know, I say know, live, and love the purpose for their career in finances. And that gets explained or that gets executed in a myriad of ways. But that's concise, short, sweet, to the point, and lets people know what I do best and how I serve those who need most what I do best. You could talk about more of that in the about section. And that's the next place you see there. Right there is the about section. Okay. The about section. I'm going to show you LinkedIn in a second. Then you want to talk about your experience. And in your experience, the number one keyword rich, most bang for the buck place for keywords is in your current job title. So you don't want it just to be your job title, what the company gave you, but use keywords in that job title. And if you want to put the exact job title into your profile experience, just put it into the little experience description section right up top. But in your current job title, I encourage you and challenge you and say you should, for the most important place of keywords for you, you want to have them in your job title. Then the next, the most important is your second job title. Then your headline. So this is kind of like a weighted keywords kind of organization hierarchy. The most points you'll get, kind of like fantasy football, right? You get most points for a touchdown. You get the second most points for like a safety or X amount of yards over 100. Those kinds of things. Same thing with LinkedIn. You want to get the most bang for your buck in points by having your keywords at the right place for the right people to read them at the right time. Basically saying, what do you do best? And I'm going to say that ad nauseum because that's what people have to do. You have to celebrate what you do best. You have to showcase that in LinkedIn. So in your headline, in your about, in your experience section, then in your skills and endorsements, then in your recommendations, and then other places like college, volunteer, let's see, we'll show you in a second, but there's another place I couldn't think of the darn name, any kind of media, any kind of content, projects you've worked on. Those are some of the others, but the most bang for your buck, the most keyword rich places for you, where you can get the most points and the most effect for your effort, is in headline, about, your experience, skills and endorsements, and recommendations. Now, let's jump over to my profile here. We're going to use mine today to be able to explain to you. And this is my public profile view, so you can see. And how I got to this was just went to my profile. Let me just show you my profile real quick as I could edit it after being logged in. Okay. Make this bigger so you guys can see. And I just went right up here to edit my public profile. And I just want to kind of share with you and show you what my public profile looks like as if somebody were seeing it that wasn't me. And so you could do the same for yourself. And so that's the point of this here. Now, as we talked about headline being of huge importance here, this is my headline: sales, leadership, customer success, and coaching. That's my keyword. Those are my keywords. Helping people to know, live, and love the purpose for their career in finance. It's kind of like my expertise statement. And I put down here, I'm open to new opportunities. I'm always open to new opportunities, whether it's potentially to be somewhat of an employee to some degree for a company, whether it's to be a part of a nonprofit, whether it's to be to have a new client in my consultancy, or maybe there's a chance, an opportunity to help somebody with one of my products or services. And so you may be in that boat as well. You can see down here, I'm in Greater Tampa Bay and I have 500 plus connections. But this is that keyword rich area that we want to have highlighted. We want to have keyword rich right there. That's a great place. And not only for, let me go back to our little presentation here, or my little PDF. Not only do we want to have the keywords in the right places for the algorithms on LinkedIn. And basically the algorithms are the computations or the code or the tasks that are written by the computer to search the database that LinkedIn is and find people like you that have the right keywords in the right places based on the person searching for you. Okay. So that's how the algorithm works. But I want you to focus on having the algorithm work by basically having your keywords in the right places. But also I want your profile to have a rhythm for a human being that's reading it, a recruiter, a headhunter, a hiring manager. So not only the algorithm, which is the behind the scenes computerization or computations that help the people that are searching for you to find you and for you to connect on LinkedIn, but also for it to be read well by someone like you or me that's not a computer. So you have the algorithm, but then I want you to have a rhythm. So I want your profile to have a rhythm and to have a flow. And like I said about a newspaper, the same thing can be said for your profile. Okay? So headline up top. Headline for a newspaper. Oh, Brian Horvath, cool. I know him, or he looks okay to me, interesting to me to go ahead and read further. Oh, he's got his profile picture there. Looks like he does speaking. Maybe he creates content. He's coaching, whatever. Excuse me. And then you start flowing down your profile. If people want to read more about you, the first thing they're going to see is the about section. The about section. And here's how I repeat my keywords. So the about section is a keyword rich area. You want to have those same exact keywords. The keywords that describe what you do best that can connect with those who need you the most. And I always teach, call it with the heart, call it the foundation that you're seeking to serve. Because when you serve enough people and help enough people get what they want, money will find you. Whatever reward is meant to be will find you because you're serving people. So in the about section here, I want to have those keywords, the same keywords I had up top in my headline. Okay, so there's congruency, consistency, there's a flow, there's a rhythm. Now, I want to talk about some of those things I shared with you a little bit ago. What are some of those third-party endorsements or what are those third-party assessments that can help tell people that are looking for someone like me that they found the right person? Well, here's my strengths finder. Okay, my 1st through 5, my 6th through 10 that may connect with a culture or show I have chemistry with a team, demonstrates my character, my work ethic, and just who I am as a person. Here's my DISC personality assessment, spiritual gifts. Here's words that I came up with that describes me. Here's what I'm known for, whether it's through customers that have said things about me, employee reviews in the past, whether it's me asking people what I do best, whether it comes from clients I've served, or whether it comes from things that I do that I know I do well, or I believe I do well. What are areas of influence? What kind of spheres of influence do I have? Where do I serve? Do I serve in the marketplace? Do I serve it in church? Do I serve at a nonprofit? Local, national, regional, online, offline? Those kinds of things you should have as well. Professional experience. Here's more some of that that verbiage or nomenclature that's more business-like or more maybe it's more professional, quote unquote, if you will. Okay, it's more things you'll find in a resume or in a job description. What kind of technology? What kind of tools do I use to get my work done? How can people connect with me very easily? And then a call to action, okay, to brainstorm and collaborate with me. They can text or call me right away at my phone number, okay? So those are some great places that we shared for you to have keywords. There's a bunch of keywords there. Other keywords, and I told you the most keyword rich area, the most area of importance is in your current job title. This is my current job title, speaker, sales, consultant, and coach. And here's July 19 to present, okay? Over almost 2.5 years I've had my own business, but I've done these same kinds of things for others and other roles, W-2 positions or 1099 positions, and I'm just doing for my own business as well as for my clients. So here's secondary job descriptions. You can see they're very similar. These are places you want to use your keywords. I use 4 keywords across all my roles, 4 to 5 keywords. So I just want to share that with you guys. And here's some leadership stuff I do. This is a Bible study group that I lead. This has nothing to do with work per se, but it's in my profile of kind of work that I do. Okay. All right. Other places are just within your experiences, your roles and responsibilities within your job. Okay. So good stuff. Thanks for the likes. Keep them coming. Here's some of the work I started doing years ago for a company called Be Found Jobs when I started working with LinkedIn folks back in 2014, 2013, and so on and so forth. Now we scroll on down. Some more rich keyword places are endorsements. I'm scrolling all the way down to endorsements because they show different recommendations. These are great keyword places because other people have said them about you. It's just not you saying something about yourself. These are great third-party endorsements. Okay, this is all my public profile view. So I don't want to bore you with all this. I'm just trying to show you some of the great places that you can have those keywords. But some of the biggest places, let me go way up top, is in your headline. In your headline. These are my keywords in my headline. So that's a great place, not only for the algorithm, but for the rhythm and flow of your LinkedIn profile. So you can have the ultimate LinkedIn profile. Then right down there in the about section, those 4 keywords or 5 keywords are repeated for congruency, for flow, for rhythm, but also for it's a keyword rich area. Then I have keywords all throughout my about section. And then I have consistent keywords where it makes sense in my current and past job titles. All showing congruency, all showing flow, kind of funneling down to help people see that there's a story here within my career, there's a story here with what I'm doing with my business, and that I am authority and expert in this space. Okay, so you want to be able to show that the best you can as well. That's the point, folks. That's the point. Algorithm. Have the algorithm, but also the rhythm and flow for your profile. Okay, got it? Say got it. Let me know in the comments. Ask your questions. We'll get to them either today or get them in the future. But this is the place to put your keywords. You want to put your keywords in the place that's going to get you the most bang for your buck, the most effect for your effort, and leveraging out there with people who know you and don't know you, how you are seeking to serve with what you do best. You're seeking to serve those who need most what you do best. Okay, so we're about wrapped up today. Next week's live is going to be about how to source keywords from job descriptions. I'm going to show you a couple cool ways, a couple turnkey solutions that you can do all for free based on a couple things, including what we talked about in the past 2 weeks. All right, so if you had no keywords at all today, we're going to show you a place to get those keywords right away. And it's all for free. All you got to do is put in your calendar next week live, noon Eastern Standard Time or Eastern Daylight Savings Time, whatever it is, EST, EDT, I don't know, but just be there. And again, of course, if you miss it, you can always watch it on my YouTube channel or in Facebook. Also, just really encourage you to check out, if you want to go deeper right away, like ASAP, like right now, right after this is over, you can go to brianhorvath.com/LinkedIn. We'll have a free web class that I created just for people like you, just for people like me that want to know, live, and love the purpose for their career and finances and really maximize what they do best, seeking to serve those who need it most. I want to help you do that right away. Go to brianhorvath.com/LinkedIn and you can sign up for free for how to make the right connections on LinkedIn. So glad you are with me. So glad you're here hanging out. Hope you get some pumpkin spice latte on this week or whatever flavor of coffee you like, or not. Maybe just black. I like it black normally, but I like it's pumpkin time. And so let's rock and roll with that. And again, feel free to email me questions at Brian Horvath or Brian@brianhorvath.com. Love to be able to get those to you so we don't miss a beat. So you can rock and roll. Email your questions, Brian@brianhorvath.com. It's a pleasure being with you guys. So thankful for you. Go get them.